Hey, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to break down this super short, super funny script that just nails a feeling we've all had. That epic late-night battle between studying for a huge exam and, the overwhelming need to just pass out. Let's dive in.
So the script we're looking at is called exam preparation, or, as you can see it here, exam ki tayari. And really, it's such a simple but perfect take on that classic struggle between what we want to do and what our sleepy brains convince us to do instead.
I mean, you know the scene, right? It's 2 a.m., everyone else is asleep, but you're surrounded by this mountain of textbooks, and there's a massive exam just hours away. This script just drops us right into the middle of that panic.
And here it is. This is the whole script. It's actually kind of amazing, isn't it? How it captures that entire emotional roller coaster of last-minute cramming in just a few little scenes. So let's walk through it together.
All right, so the story kicks off with what we could call Act 1, the night's intention, or Ratka Irada. This is that moment of pure, unadulterated optimism, probably fueled by a ton of caffeine and big dreams of acing that test.
So picture this. It's a student's room. The clock says 2 a.m. Our hero sits down with their book, and they are just radiating energy and determination. The night feels young, and failure is absolutely not an option.
And then they say it with all the confidence in the world. Today, I will finish the whole book. I will become the topper. I mean, you can practically hear the over-the-top optimism dripping from that line, can't you?
But of course, we all know that kind of heroic energy doesn't last forever. And that brings us to Act 2, which is perfectly named The War with Sleep, or Ninsei Jung. And what's crazy is how fast it all goes downhill. The script literally says to show just 3 seconds of them turning pages full of energy before, well, the inevitable happens. By second 4, the eyes are already closing, the head starts to bob, and the real fight has begun.
And then the script calls for the camera to zoom right in on the student's face. You're meant to capture every little twitch, every single moment of this losing battle. It's that classic slow-motion train wreck we've all experienced.
Yup, the head is just falling down over and over again. And get this, the script actually suggests adding some sad or maybe even horror music in the background to really drive home the drama. It's a total fight for survival against sleep.
And then, just when it seems like all is lost, a little light bulb flickers on in that tired brain. This is the big turning point, this sudden new plan. This is where pure desperation meets what feels, at the time, like a stroke of genius.
So check out this shift in strategy. This is the kind of mental gymnastics only a truly exhausted brain can come up with. The old plan, study all night. That gets tossed right out the window. The new, brilliant plan, just study for 1 hour right before the exam. What could possibly go wrong with that logic?
So with this newfound sense of relief and total self-assurance, the student basically says, hey, you know what? If I study for just 1 hour right before the exam, I'll remember it all better. I'm going to go to sleep now. It's the ultimate procrastination life hack, presented as the smartest idea ever. The book gets slammed shut, and it's off to bed.
And so, feeling totally smug about this brilliant new master plan, our student drifts off to sleep, which of course brings us to the next day. So, morning comes. The next day is here. The student wakes up, heads off to the exam, feeling, well, I think we can all guess how they're probably feeling right about now. And the final result, the big punchline of the whole story, is a big, fat fail. The script actually makes a note here to play a laughing sound effect. It's just the perfect, hilarious, and inevitable end to that not-so-genius plan.
But what's really cool is the script doesn't just stop with a story. It actually gives notes on how you'd film this whole thing. So for this last part, let's take a quick peek behind the scenes at some of the production tips included in the script.
Okay, so the script basically gives 3 key pointers. First, you gotta use dim lighting to really sell that late-night vibe. Second, whoever's acting has to have a super relatable, genuinely tired look on their face. We all have to see ourselves in them. And third, keep the whole thing moving fast. The pacing needs to be quick so people stay hooked right up to the punchline. It's a pretty simple recipe for a video that everyone can relate to.
So there you have it. That's the whole script, a perfect little story about big ambition versus total exhaustion. And it really just leaves me with one final question for all of you. Does this whole cycle, the big confidence, the struggle, the desperate new plan, does any of that feel just a little too familiar?